In 6 days, Apple will take the stage at its annual Worldwide Developers Conference. WWDC 2026 begins on June 8th with a keynote at 10 a.m. Pacific Time. And this year, the stakes are higher than they have been in a decade. Apple is coming off its worst year in artificial intelligence. Their Apple Intelligence features were delayed, buggy, and embarrassing. They paid $250 million to settle claims that they overpromised on AI capabilities. Tim Cook, the CEO who guided Apple through its most profitable era, has announced his departure. And the entire tech industry is watching to see whether Apple can still compete in a world where AI, not hardware, is becoming the most important technology on the planet. This documentary covers everything Apple is expected to announce: the confirmed leaks, the credible rumors, and most importantly, the things Apple will definitely not tell you. Let us start with the biggest announcement, the one that Apple has been working on for over 2 years. Siri is being completely rebuilt. According to Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, Apple has been developing a project internally known as Campos. The goal is to transform Siri from a basic voice assistant into a full conversational AI chatbot that can compete with ChatGPT and Google Gemini. Here is what the new Siri is expected to look like in iOS 27. First, Siri will get its own standalone app, not just a floating bubble at the bottom of your screen. A dedicated application that you can open, type into, and have full back-and-forth conversations with. Text input, voice input, and conversation memory. When you talk to the new Siri, it will remember what you said earlier in the conversation. It will understand context. It will be able to reference previous exchanges. Second, Siri will integrate into the dynamic island on iPhone. Instead of the current animation at the bottom of the screen, Siri will live in the dynamic island, showing real-time status of requests and tasks. This is a design change, but it signals something deeper. Apple wants Siri to feel like a persistent presence on your phone, not a feature you occasionally activate. Third, and this is the most significant change, Siri will support third-party AI models through a system Apple is calling extensions. We covered this extensively 2 weeks ago on this channel. With extensions, you will be able to download Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT, or other AI models from the App Store and set them as the brain behind Siri. Your iPhone, your choice. But there is a crucial detail about the new Siri that most coverage has missed. The foundation of the new Siri is not built by Apple alone. In January 2026, Apple signed a deal with Google to integrate a custom version of Gemini with 1.2 trillion parameters directly into Apple Intelligence. This means even the default Siri, before you add any extensions, will be partially powered by Google's AI. Apple will not emphasize this on stage. They will talk about Apple Intelligence. They will talk about on-device processing. They will talk about privacy. But the engine underneath is Google's. And that is a fact Apple would rather you not think about too carefully. Now let us move to hardware, because WWDC 2026 might surprise us. WWDC is traditionally a software event. Apple reveals the new versions of iOS, macOS, watchOS, and other operating systems. Hardware announcements are rare but not unheard of. This year, there are strong rumors about a Mac Studio update. The current Mac Studio runs on the M2 Ultra chip, which is now 2 generations behind. Analysts expect Apple to introduce a Mac Studio powered by the M5 Ultra chip. If the M5 follows the pattern of previous generations, the Ultra version could feature up to an 80-core GPU, Thunderbolt 5 connectivity, and up to 96 gigabytes of unified memory. This would make the Mac Studio the most powerful desktop computer Apple has ever built. It would target video editors, 3D artists, AI developers, and researchers who need workstation-class performance in a compact form factor. However, there is a complication. Reports indicate a global RAM shortage that could delay Apple's ability to ship M5 Ultra configurations with maximum memory. If the shortage persists, Apple might announce the Mac Studio at WWDC but delay availability to later in 2026. There are also rumors about a Mac Mini update with a standard M5 or M5 Pro chip. The Mac Mini is Apple's most affordable desktop, and an M5 upgrade would make it one of the most capable entry-level computers for AI development. Now, here is the section Apple definitely does not want you to think about. The things they will not say on stage. They will not talk about the $250 million settlement. In early 2026, Apple agreed to pay this amount to settle claims that Apple Intelligence was marketed with capabilities it could not deliver. Notification summaries that got facts wrong. Writing tools that produced generic text. Image generation that was unreliable. Apple Intelligence launched in 2024 as the future of iPhone. By 2026, it was a legal liability. They will not talk about why Tim Cook is really leaving. The official narrative is a planned transition. The reality is that Cook's Apple failed to anticipate the AI revolution. While Google, OpenAI, and Anthropic were building the most advanced AI models in history, Apple was polishing Siri and hoping nobody would notice how far behind they had fallen. The AI failure is not the only reason Cook is departing, but it is the most significant one. They will not talk about the dependency on Google. Apple has built its brand on independence. Think different. Privacy first. Your data stays on your device. But the truth is that Apple's AI strategy now depends on Google's Gemini model. The same Google that Apple has spent years positioning as the anti-privacy villain. The irony is extraordinary. And they will not talk about the real reason they opened iOS to third-party AI models. Apple did not create extensions because they believe in user choice. They created extensions because their own AI was not good enough. Opening the platform to Claude, Gemini, and ChatGPT is an admission of failure disguised as a feature. Beyond the headline announcements, Apple is expected to reveal updates across all of its operating systems. macOS 27, whatever its name ends up being, is expected to focus on stability improvements rather than major new features. After the visual overhaul of Liquid Glass in macOS 26, Apple reportedly wants to refine the experience rather than reinvent it again. watchOS 27 is expected to bring new health features, possibly including blood pressure monitoring improvements and sleep apnea detection enhancements. iPadOS 27 will likely mirror iOS 27's new Siri capabilities. And visionOS 27, the operating system for Apple Vision Pro, is expected to receive significant updates as Apple tries to boost adoption of its struggling spatial computing platform. Apple will also likely preview new developer tools, machine learning frameworks, AI training capabilities on Apple Silicon, integration points for the extension system. These announcements will not make headlines, but they will determine whether developers actually build AI extensions for the iPhone or ignore the platform in favor of Android. So here is the big picture. WWDC 2026 is not just a developer conference. It is Apple's response to the most significant technology shift since the smartphone revolution. Artificial intelligence is becoming the primary way people interact with technology, and Apple is behind. Their Siri overhaul is 18 months late. Their Apple Intelligence was a public embarrassment. Their response opening the platform to competitors is unprecedented for a company that has always controlled every aspect of its ecosystem. The new CEO, John Turnus, is betting that Apple can win the AI era not by building the best AI, but by building the best platform for AI. The App Store strategy applied to artificial intelligence. It is a bold bet, and in 6 days, we will find out whether it is brilliant or desperate. WWDC 2026, Monday, June 8th, 10 a.m. Pacific, the most important Apple event in years. And we will be covering every announcement right here on Tech Documentary HQ. Subscribe and hit the bell so you do not miss our WWDC reaction documentary on June 8th. For the geopolitical context of Apple's AI strategy, check out Kelvorix.